topic that's destroying engines at an alarming rate: cold start mistakes. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, come on, it's just a cold start. How bad can it really be? Well, let me tell you, these seemingly innocent mistakes can literally shave off 15,000 to 25,000 miles from your engine's lifespan, and that's no joke. I've seen it happen time and time again. Engines that should have been purring like kittens for years meeting an untimely demise, all because of a few simple cold start blunders. But fear not, my friends, because today we're going to break down the 5 biggest cold start mistakes that are killing your engine, and more importantly, how you can avoid them like the plague. So let's start with the first mistake, and it's a doozy. I can't tell you how many times I've witnessed people jumping into their cars and immediately revving the living daylights out of their engines when they're stone cold. Now, before you start thinking, hey, what's the big deal? It's just a little rev. Let me paint you a picture of what's actually happening inside that engine of yours. When your engine is cold, all those metal components, your pistons, cylinder walls, everything, they're actually smaller than they should be. You see, metal expands when it heats up, and these parts are precisely engineered to work at operating temperature. When you rev a cold engine, you're basically forcing these cold, contracted parts to slam against each other like they're in a boxing match. And trust me, it ain't pretty. You might even hear what we call piston slap, that rattling noise when your engine's cold. Those pistons are literally slapping against the cylinder walls because they haven't expanded to their proper size yet. Do this enough times and you're looking at scored cylinder walls, worn piston rings, and a repair bill that'll make you wish you'd never laid eyes on that car in the first place. Now here's a surprising one that's bound to stir up some debate: letting your car idle for 10 minutes in the driveway. I know. A lot of you out there think this is the right way to warm up your engine. But let me tell you straight up, it's actually doing more harm than good. Here's why. When your engine's idling cold, it's running rich on fuel, which means excess fuel is seeping past those cold piston rings and diluting your precious oil. And let's not forget that idling doesn't generate much heat, so the engine warms up at a painfully slow pace. I've seen cars take 15 to 20 minutes to reach operating temperature just by idling, and by that point, who knows how much damage has already been done. Instead, here's what you should do. Start your car, wait about 30 to 60 seconds for the oil to circulate, and then drive gently. And I mean gently, like you're driving Miss Daisy herself. Driving under light load warms the engine up faster and avoids the damage caused by excessive idling. It's like giving your engine a gentle stretch before a workout, instead of throwing it straight into the deep end and expecting it to swim like Michael Phelps. Speaking of oil, this next mistake is all about what's flowing through your engine's veins. Many people overlook the importance of using the correct oil viscosity for their climate. When your engine's cold, the oil is thicker and moves slower. Even those fancy modern synthetic oils aren't immune to this cold weather sluggishness. In those first few seconds after startup, your engine's parts are running with minimal lubrication. Think about it. Your oil pump is pushing thick, cold oil through tiny passages until it fully circulates. There's metal-on-metal contact happening, folks, and that's a recipe for disaster faster than you can say engine rebuild. That's why using the manufacturer's recommended oil viscosity is non-negotiable, especially in winter. And again, those first 30 to 60 seconds after startup are critical. Wait for the oil to circulate before putting any load on the engine, or you might as well be running it dry and waving goodbye to those precious engine components. Now let's talk about another common habit that can cause serious damage: shutting down your engine before it's fully warmed up. You start your car, drive 2 minutes to the store, and shut it off. Seems harmless, right? Wrong, my friends, so very, very wrong. During that short run, your engine hasn't gotten hot enough to burn off moisture and fuel that build up in the oil over time. This causes the oil to break down and promotes internal corrosion, which is like giving your engine a slow, painful death sentence from the inside out. It's especially bad in winter when short trips are common and engines struggle to reach optimal temperature. To avoid this, try to plan your trip so your engine has enough time to warm up fully. If you're only driving a short distance, consider walking or combining errands into one longer trip. It's better for your engine, your wallet, and your overall peace of mind, not to mention the environment. So what's the correct cold start routine, you ask? It's simple. Start your engine and wait 30 to 60 seconds for the oil to circulate like a gentle stream through your engine's veins. Then drive gently, keep it under 2,500 revolutions per minute, and avoid full throttle until the temperature gauge is in the normal range. For you turbocharged maniacs out there, give it a bit more time before pushing boost. These small habits make a huge difference. Trust me, I've rebuilt enough engines to see the pattern. The ones that fail early almost always suffered from poor cold start practices. Treat your engine right when it's cold, and it'll reward you with years of reliable service. Like a faithful steed, carrying you through the toughest of journeys, never letting you down. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever made any of these cold start mistakes? Share your horror stories in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insider mechanic knowledge that'll keep your ride running smoothly for years to come. Remember, a little bit of preventative maintenance and good habits go a long way in extending the life of your engine. Stay tuned for more tips and tricks, and keep those engines purring, my friends, because at the end of the day, what's a car without a healthy heart beating under the hood?